our a surprise guest speaker. Y'all just, it's going to be so awesome. So anyway, my name is Sheri Stevens, and the intention of this call is to explain the way we create income and how it's changing. And have you ever considered owning your own home-based business? Well, you're going to see how to benefit from owning your own home-based business. And the presenter today, she has been in the business arena for over 20 years. She's licensed in the health and wellness industry. She has owned her own day spa and tea room in New York. She is a master certified trainer, a corporate trainer, team builder, a mama and a nana, and a dear friend to me and so many others. And so you're going to hear her passion and professionalism as she has to share with each and every one of us. She has a co-helper today, Miss Ginny Caroselli. I'm going to let Miss Nikima introduce and bring her forward as well. And then they can also introduce our amazing guest speaker. So without any further ado, I am going to turn this over to Miss Nikima Frenche.
Thank you so very much, Sheri. I know people are coming on. I'm sorry, you're trying to handle the board. Please mute yourself, guys, when you come on. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much, Sheri. I'm excited tonight, guys. We have a special speaker right amongst us here, and we're going to bring that person forward a little bit later on. So Ginny Caroselli in Jersey. How you doing, Ginny? Ginny from Jersey.
I am doing great. We just had a storm roll through, but we have a storm rolling through right now with what we're covering tonight. So we're ready to rock and roll.
All right. So guys, what we're going to do, we're going to quickly, for those of you who've been coming on, we are going to race through why own your own personal franchise. And we're going to bring forward our guest speaker tonight because you want to hear from this guy. So you still have time to text and call your friends and family and get them to listen to this person about why you should consider owning your own home-based business. So I'm going to get started right away. Ginny and I, we're going to go straight into it, and we're going to get you through this so that you can hear the person that we want you to hear. And I know this person cannot wait to come forward and share with you. So guys, let's get started. We're going to be talking about why own your own personal franchise. And I want to say what it means when we say why own your own personal franchise. It means that when you start your own home-based business in today's time, you not only get to start your own business, you also get to help someone else start their own business. So now you become your own personal franchise, where you help another person start their own home-based business. So with that said, I'm gonna go straight into tonight's intention. What can we learn from the past? We just was having another conversation about the past, and we're gonna look at a question that has trapped us. And we're also going to talk about the benefits of owning your own home-based business, or what we nickname your own personal franchise. So I'm going to pass the time on to Ginny from Jersey for her to take us through the first part of the PowerPoint presentation. Ginny, ready?
Ready. Thank you so much, Nikima and Sheri. So obviously we know that we learned from the past. We're not teaching you anything new, but the important thing to know here is that the past teaches us that as the economy shifts, anybody who resists the change, the traditionalists, they get stuck. Guess what? They get left behind. Now we have pioneers in every age, and you see these stage coaches here. So obviously that's how we started off this country. And we're going to just like go quickly through the ages so that we can get our guest speaker on. Agricultural age, wealth was created by growing things. And then we moved into the next age, which is the industrial age. And wealth was created by making things. So we had a big shift, okay, from fields and farms to factories. And I don't know about you, but if I see that time clock in the upper left-hand corner, there's a little quickening in my heart, because the feeling that I have is that I'm probably working for someone else's dream, not my own. And it just gives me a feeling of non-freedom. So then we moved into the information age, where wealth was created by distributing things. Look at all these things that have changed over time. They had to change with the times. We had to change with the times. But as things got distributed, and many, many people got extremely wealthy. So now we move into the next stage, which is coming right up. Well, first of all, things are changing. And look at the airline, the wingtips and everything in the upper right-hand corner. And I know that our guest speaker has been stranded somewhere for a few months because of what's been happening in the world. But you know what? When you go to the airport, you're probably not even seeing a real person almost. You might be seeing them, but they're not interacting with you for check-in. When you go to the drive-thru in the upper left-hand corner, you're not sure if it's a human being or a robot that's taking your order at the drive-thru. FedEx, Amazon, so many things are happening, but the bottom line on this slide is that by the year 2030, and it used to sound so far away, but it's less than 10 years away, estimates are that 46% of all current jobs are going to be eliminated. Right now, that feels pretty real. So we've got to come up with some other ideas here, folks. So let's go to the next slide, please. So people have come up with ideas. They've come up with money-making apps, TaskRabbit, Grubhub, Uber. But the bottom line on this slide is they're still exchanging time for money. And that's what we're trying to get away from. We need to come up with something brand new. So here we are in my favorite age of all up until this point in time, the share age, where wealth is created by influencing people. If you look on the left-hand side with all the red lines through things, people are not paying attention to television commercials. They're skipping ads. You know, when you've got your hand on the remote or on your mouse, you're going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bam, skip the ad, skip the advertising. So it's all about relationships. It's all about your social network. And the amount of millionaires has already doubled in this share age, which has only been for the past 10 years. And the next 10 million millionaires, I'll say that again, the next 10 million millionaires are going to come from teaching and influencing not one person, not two people, but networks of people globally, I'll add. So the way we learn, work, live, and earn income is becoming so different now, and we need to ask different questions, and I'm going to bring Nikima up right now to tell us what those questions might be.
Thank you so very much, Ginny. So guys, she said it, right? There's a lot of movement, a lot of change that's happening right now. Over 30 million people are out of work. But there is a question that has been asked of us our entire life. It's a generational question. And we're going to look at that question tonight. And we want to shift the way that you've been looking at your life moving forward. So previous age thinking will not create the lifestyle that many want. If your career, your income or retirement plan includes trading time for money, that plan will not be as effective in a new age economy. So let's take a look at a question that has limited us. And that's a simple question. What do you want to be when you grow up? Right? Your grandmother asked it of you. Every adult that came around asked you that question, right? And you asked that question of your children, and you're probably still asking that question of your grandchildren today. So what do you want to be when you grow up? And that is, you start with the profession, right? You start with the profession. So this is what I want to be when I grow up. And then once you have the profession, then you're forced to say, okay, well, what qualifications do I need to have? And then what lifestyle? The lifestyle is going to be determined by the job you get. So go to school, get a good job, and then, you know what, and work for 30 years, right? And then retire on a portion of your income. But the thing about this, what has trapped us is that most people don't understand that the lifestyle that you end up with, right, where you live, the clothes you wear, where you shop for the clothes, the type of food you eat, just your entire lifestyle is now dependent on someone else giving you a paycheck. And if that paycheck is no longer there, you are in a lot of trouble. So your lifestyle is now determined by someone else. Now, am I saying that a job is bad? No, I'm not saying a job is bad. We just want you to know that when you only have one stream of income, then you're creating a situation where if you lose it, then you're kind of standing there holding the bag. So this traditional model that has forced us to think about what we want to be when we grow up, we end up living the life and building someone else's dream because we're exchanging time for money. Our lifestyle, the car we drive, all of it. But now on the other side, there's a question that empowers us. How do you want to live? And that question makes you start with the lifestyle. Begin with the end in mind. And the person who's going to be on tonight is going to talk more about that. So start with how you want to live. Is it going to cost you $500,000 a year, $100,000 a year? What is it going to cost to live the way you want to live? And then you're going to say, okay, well, what can I get involved with that will allow me to make this type of money? And then you go search for that. And when you find it, then you say, okay, well, what qualifications, what skills, what knowledge do I need to have in order to have that job or position or business that would allow me to have the dream that I want? So you are in control of your lifestyle, where you live, what you eat, how many times you go on vacation, what you want to do with your time, who you want to spend your time with. You are in control of that when you start with this question. And this is a question that empowers. So why not own your life? So what I'm going to do is pass the time on to Ginny for her to talk about the new economic age that we're in. Thank you, Ginny.
Thank you, Nikima. Every time I see a child now, I switch the question that was used to be on automatic. It's really cool. So let's take a look at typical business franchising. And what has happened is the two greatest business models have converged together: business franchising and independent business ownership. And they've created this amazing concept called personal franchising, which is working so well globally. So let's take a look at the next slide, please. So, I mean, I think you all know what a franchise is, so I'm just going to literally read the slide. A franchise is a business system. It's owned by an entrepreneur or a group, offering a product or service labeled by a corporation. Everything gets assisted by the corporation, every aspect of the business, in return for fees based on sales or profits of sales. So that is a franchise. Now try to guess. Don't go to the next slide. Try to guess. Okay, never mind. What was the very first franchise in the United States? You could go in the chat room and guess, but we'll tell you really quickly just because we have a guest speaker tonight. First U.S. franchise was Albert Singer. Who remembers the Singer sewing machine? Oh my goodness, I sure do. So Albert Singer had the desire to expand, but he wanted to control this expansion, and he really wanted to make sure that everyone that did this had successful behavior. He wanted duplication, but he didn't have enough capital. So what he did, he decided to sell some franchises to private business owners. So that was the beginning of the franchises in the United States. Let's take a look at the next one. We might see some pictures of some others. We won't go into details about each one, but here they are. White Castle, Howard Johnson's, Rexall. Let's slide into the next one. We're excited for our speaker tonight. And the next slide says, franchising from the 50s continues to today. Look at this screen, and you've probably partaken or whatever of half or more of these particular franchises. Okay, I know we have, certainly. So here's the thing that's great about a franchise: the what to do to become successful. Everything you do every day, the day-to-day operations, the ongoing training, the duplication, and the consistency allows for predictable success. You walk in any of these places, you basically kind of know what they're going to look like and how they're going to behave towards you, right? So now let's look at independent business ownership. We want to see the best and the worst about each one of these, and let's look at the list. Independent.
It could also be my son when he plays his
I'm sorry, Jenny. Sorry, we got somebody coming in here.
I really thank Mom for.
Maria, could you please?
It's just a physical. It's just.
All right, we got it. Thank you. Go ahead, Jenny.
Thank you. You might want to make me the co-host when you're talking too.
Yes.
Independent ownership is bricks and mortar, employees, hiring and firing, insurances, utilities, rent, mortgage, time demands, huge financial risks. You work in your business compared to working on your business, and you end up becoming a jack of all trades, and you've got to figure it out all by yourself. And guys, in today's time right now, a lot of independent business owners are just not going to have a business to go back to, basically, right? The bills are just way too high. So let's look at something that takes the best of two worlds, two business models, and create something brand new and quite exciting for anyone that is willing to take a look at it. So let's go straight into personal franchising. This is my favorite slide in our entire presentation. I would take a picture of it or screenshot it. And this is something that if you are already an independent business owner in the personal franchising arena, you are going to want to proudly share this with someone else. This is revenue in US dollars in billions. These are global industries, okay? We're going to start at the bottom. The NBA, we know this is huge, $8 billion. MLB 10, NFL 13, music 16. We know nutritional supplements are big, $36 billion. Movies a little bigger, real estate bigger than that. Financial services, quite huge, $70 billion. More than double that is the insurance arena. But at the very top of the chart, ding, 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 is personal franchising, direct sales, networking, home-based, whatever you feel comfortable calling it. We love to call it personal franchising. $183 billion in revenues. That is something to be very proud of if you are in the industry, and it's something that I think would entice someone to come on board to an industry like this. Thank you, Nikima. So the benefits of personal franchising, as we can see, are the same as franchises, traditional franchises, without that high ticket barrier of like thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars. But then you can subtract all the disadvantages that an independent business owner has. And you see everything on the list, so I don't have to go through the list. It's just pretty incredible. That takes the best of both worlds. And you can do this business anywhere in the world. It's portable and 100% flexible schedule. So let's slide on over. So training plus franchise operating system, this is everything that we're talking about, equals predictable and duplicatable success. That's what we have here online. And tonight we have people from all different companies here, and we make a commitment that none of us will say the name of our company, so that we can allow people from all companies that are in these type of personal franchises to feel comfortable inviting their guests on a call like this. And at the end of the call, we're just going to say, get back to the person who invited you on this call and tell them you want to learn more about the business franchise that they have. Back to you, Nikima.
Thank you so very much, Ginny. Oh, that's so good. So guys, the training is now so for those of you who are listening this for the first time, the training, a franchise operating system equals predictable and duplicatable success. Our industry has grown up. This industry has been around for a very long time, but now it has come of age. And it's the only industry where, regardless of where you are, your socioeconomic status, your color of your skin, or how much, just your culture, it doesn't matter where you are in your life or who you are. It's one industry now that you can step into and step into boldly. So what's not working as well as you would like it to work right now? Is your career and finance not working the way you want it? What about your health and wellness? What about personal growth, physical environment, your spirituality, time freedom? What about fun and recreation? Do you get to travel? What is your relationships like? So what we are here to talk about tonight, if you choose to engage, is your key to being fulfilled, fearless, and free. So if you can dream it, it is possible. We have put our dreams aside in order for us to survive and pay the bills. So let's see, can we get back to it? I think we can. And our speaker tonight is going to be showing us exactly that it can be done. So fun, freedom, and fulfillment can be yours part-time or full-time. Whether you have a job or not, you could say, you know what, I want to build another stream of income. I want to do something else for my family. So you can supplement your current income. You can replace your income if that's what you want. You can have flexible hours and be in control of your life and your time. 79 million people will start a home-based business in the next 5 years. It is not going to be in the next 5 years. It's happening right now. Creating wealth and abundance by positively influencing people. Positively. It's all about us positively influencing each other at this time. So multiple streams of income. Warren Buffett says, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. That does not sound fun. Okay? And Elon Musk says, I can either watch it happen or be a part of it. And Steve Jobs, when he was here, he said, your time is limited. So don't waste it living someone else's life. So you have many choices on the screen here. There's tons of companies. We couldn't fit all of them on here, right? So there's like a ton of companies that you can partner with, but get back to the person who invited you here so that you could talk to them about what's available to you. So guys, listen, there's a total program. Let me take you through what's available to us that was not there before. You can find a company that you like the product or the opportunity that they're offering. You can partner with that company. There is now business training available for you for a fraction, nothing like what it used to be long ago, where it thousands of dollars to be able to be educated on your business. Global support. So some of these companies, you can do business anywhere in the world. They provide sales reports for you. You don't have to make your own sales reports. There's business tools available, contact manager apps, so you can keep track of your interactions with your potential business partners and customers. Accelerated income strategies. You can make money fast, faster, or fastest. It's entirely up to you. The companies also provide websites. You don't have to create your own website and hire a website designer to do all of this for you. It's already there. You're basically getting a turnkey operation. There's also mobile sales apps where you can do sales or business anywhere. And now, guys, there is a personal franchise operating system. That's what we call it. A way to keep you on track so you know exactly what you should be doing, when you should be doing, and that way you will be able to work towards your dreams. So that is now available to us. So there's three types of people: people who make things happen, people who watch things happen, and people who wondered what happened. And we know that you are the first type of person. That's a person who takes action. So Henry Ford said, if I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. All right. So sometimes we don't always know what is best for us. It's only if someone else taps us on the shoulder and says, hey, you know what? You need to take a look at this. You didn't know this was here, but you need to take a look. So we are the ones who tell each other what's there, because sometimes we can't see what's going around. Now, if Henry Ford had listened to what people said, we'd still be riding on horses, right? So the secret to getting ahead is getting started by Mark Twain. So successful people have three things in common. They make a decision, they take action, and they know it's going to happen. Your future awaits. What are you going to do about it? So you can make a life-changing decision today. We want you, after you hear our speaker tonight, guys, all right? We want you to get back to the person who invited you on this call. Schedule a presentation. Sit with them and say, okay, show me how this works. And look at it until you understand it. Get involved and change the way things are right now. We do have some control, but we have to know that we have some control. So the secret to getting ahead is getting started. So I'm going to do a stop share here. And what I would like to do at this moment is I would like to bring forward our speaker tonight. This man is so incredibly humble. All right? Humble. A humble human being who has walked the journey that we are talking about tonight. Starting from nothing from zero to hero. So I'm going to get out of the way and I am going to bring forward one of our master trainers in our industry. He is a change agent. He is helping to change lives all over the world. Help me introduce Mr. Romi Verdera. Romi, welcome to the call. We are so happy to have you on tonight.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Nikima. Thank you, everybody. I'm Romi Verdera, for those who do not know me. I'm from Staten Island, New York. And right now I'm in the Philippines. I got locked down here since March. I think I'll be able to come back to New York sometime this month. But I have a house in New York. I have a house here also. So I go back and forth. Okay. But anyway, this is such a beautiful presentation, Nikima and Ginny. You know, I love it. I haven't seen this before. The thing that you did is this PowerPoint. And I would say that's actually the story of my life, that whole presentation. So what I will be explaining now is how I live that life that you were talking about. Okay. So by telling my story, you can see that that's actually what I followed in my whole life. Okay, I once read a book. It says that in our life, you spend the first half trying to create a container. You know, I would say I want to amend it, like the first third of your life. So you try to create a container, and then the second part of your life, you fill it in, and then the third part of your life, you enjoy. Okay, what you just did on the last two. So my life is like that. Like I came from the Philippines, and I moved to America way back when I was 22 years old. My wife and I just got married, but in the Philippines, we were so poor. I lived in a small town. My father was a waiter in a restaurant, and then later he became a government employee with very little pay. And there's four of us in the family, four siblings, and my father could not make enough money even to send us to school. He just makes enough money to put food on the table. Okay. So growing up, I have to find a way to go to college, you know, find money, ask help from people, from relatives. And I didn't like being poor. Okay. The reason why I'm saying this is this mindset is very important if you want to succeed in a personal franchise business. You have to have the mindset that you want to become an entrepreneur and not a regular 9-to-5 job worker. Okay, because that's the story of my life. So what happened was, while I was growing, I look at my father and I look at my uncle, my father's younger brother. My uncle owns businesses. He owns a grocery store. He owns a gasoline station. He owns a bake shop. He owns farms, you know. So I said to myself, when after I get married and I finish college, I don't want to work on a regular job. I want to become an entrepreneur, like my uncle. Okay, so at a young age, I have that set in my mind. Now, what happened was we got married, my wife and I found out my wife was an American citizen. So at a young age, she was 18, I was 22, we went to America. I had no money then. I went to America with $100 of borrowed money. And at the time, they still let you fly on an airplane on credit. You know, they don't do that now. Like I flew to America with the promise to pay that when I get to America, I'm gonna find a job and pay the airline, which I did, you know. So we came to America. We first lived in Brooklyn. I worked on like a Dunkin' Donut place. And then I worked as a filing clerk in New York City until I was like 28. So being in America, I lost the dream of becoming an entrepreneur, of becoming a businessman, because you have no money, you have no capital, you cannot buy a franchise. Like there's no way for me to start a business in America. I was so engrossed. We have two younger sons, you know. I was so engrossed, like building up a family, so that the business dream disappeared. And then one day when I was 28 years old, I was invited to a meeting. And in that meeting, it's a network marketing meeting. They still didn't call at the time personal franchise, okay? At the time, they call it like multi-level marketing, and then later they call it network marketing, you know. Now we call it personal franchise, but it's the same thing. It's an idea where you don't have to have like really capital to establish a business. You can start a business just by your own effort. And at that meeting, I saw people making a lot of money. I heard their, and I was 28 years old. And then that spark of like dream that I used to have, where I could become a business person, came back to me. So I said to myself, wow, maybe I could do this. I want to be like those people on the stage, because I attended more meetings, and I said, I like to be like those people on the stage who are making a lot of money. And I asked them, like, what do I have to do to become like those top salespeople or network marketers who are making a lot of money? And then they told me, you have to sign up as a distributor. You need to like go to training. You have to read these books, listen to audio tapes, get involved in personal development. You will learn how to set goals. You will learn how to prospect people, how to do a presentation, how to recruit people, showing the compensation plan. You draw circles, you know. And then you will learn self-motivation, how to motivate your people. You will learn how to inspire them. And you will have to learn not to quit, because a lot of people quit, you know. So I said, okay, since I have no other way of getting into business because I had no capital, I said, I'm going to do it if that's the way to do it. So that first year, now I'm 29 years old, I literally spent like a whole lot of time doing what they told me. I read the books, listened to tapes. I remember my wife would told me, and my sister-in-law, all you do is listen to tapes and like read books, you know. But I was hungry. I wanted to learn. I found out that this personal franchise thing is just like any other career. It's not something that you get excited and you think you're gonna become rich. You know, you have to learn the skills like any other career, and I'm willing to learn the skills. Okay, like I know I was a good learner. One thing I learned is I have to learn the mindset of those successful people. So I became a reader of like successful people's biography. I want to learn. I want to know how they think. All those things. So by 29 years old, I realized this is the business, this is the life I want to go. And I quit my job. I resigned from my job in Wall Street as an accounting clerk, like minimum wage pay. So I don't like a job anymore. And I took a chance. At 29 years of age, I'm full-time in this network marketing or personal franchise business. So what happened was I started calling people, prospecting people, the people that I know, set up my first meeting in my apartment in Brooklyn. And after the first meeting, my upline did the presentation, okay, because I'm being like showed how to do it. Nobody joined. So I was kind of like discouraged. That's my first experience of discouragement in this industry. They asked me to set a second meeting. So I set a second meeting, invited friends again. One friend joined. So now I have one downline. You know, I'm happy. I was happy. And then they told me to set up a third meeting. I set up a third meeting again at the house of that first recruit that I have. And then nobody joined him. And then he quit. Now I lost my only recruit. So I quit too. Like, I don't like this business anymore. I don't like this like network marketing anymore. Okay, but what got stuck in my mind is what Henry Ford said. Henry Ford said, I would rather earn 1% of 100 people's effort than my own effort. So that idea became so clear to me. I said, I remember that's how these people are making a lot of money. The one that I saw on the stage, the one that are making a lot of money, they were able to build an organization. So although I quit that business, I looked for another company. So I was thinking maybe I can make it in another company. So I joined another company, started doing the same thing, and now I'm starting to experience like some success. So in that second company, I was able to build the group. I was able to do presentations. So at early 30s, I'm doing presentation already in front of people. I learned how to motivate them. But then again, another year and a half, 2 later, the business had problem. It fell apart again. But because of that experience of success in that company, which is my second company, I decided I'm not going back to work ever again, like on a regular job. I'm just gonna find another company. Okay. So to make the long story short, my first 20 years in this industry, I experienced moving from one company to another. But every time I move, I carry with me what I experienced in the previous companies. So I'm able to build a bigger organization on the next business. Now, sometimes I couldn't build, okay. Sometimes the business will have problem right away. It's sometimes a problem when you join a new company. So I kind of not a believer anymore. For instance, in usually you evaluate what company you're gonna join in this industry when they're saying, "Oh, this is it. This is the best company. It's ground floor." Like I don't like that anymore. Usually, if it's ground floor, a lot of them don't go above ground. You know? They fall apart. So I would rather join a company that's kind of stable and still there's room for growth. Okay, so to make the long story short, my first 20 years in this industry, okay, from 30-year-old to 50-year-old, that was a long stretch. That was my schooling in personal franchising or network marketing. I have learned so much. If you have to put a degree, I probably was a PhD degree in network marketing. You know, every day I'm learning. I'm reading biographies of like successful people. I would even read stories of successful people in other companies. Like I don't care if it's a different company from what I'm doing. If they're successful, I want to know how they learned them. Okay, so and then by the time I was 50, okay, I bumped into a company, and I would say, remember I was saying the first part of your life, you try to create a container. The second part, you fill it up. I was at the age of 50, I was on a filling up time. Like I found this company, I've been with them now for like 15 years, and it just grew and grew and grew. I just checked my report on our website. Okay, we have a website where we can check the sales of the organization. This month of May, okay, while people are afraid that business might go down because of the coronavirus, because of the lockdown, because of everything that was happening, I'm so glad, I'm thankful to God, because I was anxious actually at the beginning of the coronavirus sometime in March. But I saw our business, like my own personal franchise business, grew 128% in May during the lockdown. Okay, the personal franchise that I have, I have built it in 15 years all over the globe, and I would say on the average about 10,000 new people are joining my organization. That's all over the world. Okay, and that's documented. So how have it changed my life? I became a believer. Okay, now I have a family. I'm happily married with 2 sons who are married also, and I have 4 grandchildren. Okay, and I have always dreamed that I want my children to be happy also, like enjoy the fruits of my labor. Okay, so right now we have a beautiful house in New York by the beach. You know, we have a boat where we could go around New York City, around the Statue of Liberty in New Jersey. We enjoy the summer boating. We have a house here also in the Philippines, so we could go back and forth. My wife and I are traveling all over the world. Like when winter comes, right after New Year, we leave New York because it's very cold in New York. I'm 64 years old. I have to enjoy warm weather. So we go to Thailand, everywhere. I have sales organization in Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong, Philippines, Australia, all over. So we go where it's warm. Like I become guest speakers in those groups. So even in the business now for 15 years, I must have spent the first 5 years out of the 15. Okay, the first 5 years really doing a whole lot of selling and recruiting, building the business, and as the organization grow, you change your role, you change your hat. Okay, so I would say the first 5 years that was what I was doing. I was building it. The next 5 years, okay, I was kind of like influencing everybody, going around the organization around the world, helping people build their organizations. So I have become an inspirational speaker to many of the distributors. Like everywhere I go, I would hear people say, I heard your story, Romi. Okay, if you hear some noise in the background, they're just passing, they'll go away. They're announcing something about the instruction in the community. I'm still on a lockdown in this small area in the Philippines. Okay, so anyway, the second part of my 15 years in the business is I'm going around influencing everybody, teaching how I build the business. And then the third part, the next 5 parts really is I'm just enjoying the business now. Like really, the business has grown to a point where it's growing on its own. It takes a life of its own. Okay, I remember there's a preacher named Robert Suller. Okay, long time ago when I was younger, he said, when God wants to accomplish something on planet Earth, and I would say that includes building a huge business, you know. I really believe this Kangen, oh, I'm sorry. I really believe that this business of ours, which pertains to health, okay, is a God-sent company, because we have different network marketing companies, I would say, on this earth, which are there to help make people healthy. And our company is one of those companies. There are many others. They are good companies. Okay, so we have a role in keeping people healthy, and I really believe that. For instance, now we have this pandemic, coronavirus. A lot of people are concerned about their health, how to keep their health. So all of us who have personal franchises in different companies pertaining to health will have a good business at this time. Okay, so now this business that I have built, we are able to build a legacy, and this is the benefit of our industry. It's not like other businesses, okay? Like here in the Philippines right now, I see so many businesses closed. It's like, it's heartbreaking. Not only in the Philippines, it's all over the world. I heard there's, I think about 30 million people in America applied for unemployment already. That's a lot. 30 million people. We are on the verge of depression, you know. And I could look back in 2000, okay, I started business in 2006. By 2008, 2009, 2010, that was the height of the recession in the United States. Remember the financial crisis? And the height was 2010, and then it started to slow down around 2011, 2012. It started to like recuperate, you know. So we were able to bounce back from that financial crisis. But that was the same time that I was building my personal franchise. And during that financial crisis in the United States, this financial, that past financial crisis in the 2010s, our personal franchise, this network marketing company that I was building, was building and building and building up during that time. It was not affected by the financial crisis. Now, during this coronavirus season, I had some anxiety sometime in March. Now my anxiety is gone because I saw that because of this Zoom that we are doing now, because of this online business, we were able to continue doing business in April and in May, and we grew just like as if there was no coronavirus. Like I was so happy. Actually, the president of the company, or I think it was Tom, they sent us an email, told us that the whole company grew 111% in the month of May. Now, my own organization grew 128%, you know, even faster than the company. And what did I do during the month of May? Nothing. I was locked down here in the Philippines, enjoying my house here. And all I do is talk on the internet, on the Zoom, when I'm invited, like what we're doing today. Okay, so that's the benefit of our personal franchise. Now, in this industry, there will be, or in this era of coronavirus, where there will be a new normal, there will be businesses that thrive and grow. There will be businesses that will really like fall apart and disappear. Like right now, I am sorry, I feel bad for many of those who are in the tourism industry. For instance, here in the Philippines, many of the people who work in cruises and airlines and hotels all over the world, they all flew back to the Philippines. Like they have no more jobs, you know. Thousands of them. I heard some 40,000 flew back because they had no more jobs. Meanwhile, here, our business continues. Our business continues online. I've been watching the activity on the internet of the people doing business here. We are on, not just in the Philippines, but like all over the world. Okay, now, the good thing also about this business is you are able to transfer it to the next generations, okay? In the beginning, my two sons, they are in their 30s now. Like when I was starting network marketing, when I was in my 30s, they are now at the same position where I was. They have learned network marketing. They have built their own business. They have their own organization in the same business that I am in. So I have this peace of mind, this security that they will go on and they will continue my business. Like when I retire, I'm 64 years old now. They'll just take over and continue. That's one thing good with this personal franchise. You're able to will it and transfer ownership and let your next generation enjoy the business that you built. Okay, so now in New York, where I am based, like I said, you could diversify the money you earn in the personal franchise. So we have diversified in real estate. We own 4 houses in New York City. and the one that I live on is a beautiful house by the beach. It's like a resort, you know. Like I go home there, I vacation in New York. I go home to the Philippines, I vacation here too. So I built a house in the Philippines where we could go back and forth. One thing I love, and this one, I would say one of the best things you are able to enjoy in this kind of franchise is you don't need to oversee the business like the way you do a traditional business. You can be, you're almost like an absentee owner. The business runs by itself while you pursue what you enjoy doing, okay? Like in my case, when I was younger, I wanted to be a minister of the gospel, you know, but it didn't come true when I was young. Now that I'm old, I'm able to do a whole lot of it. Like before the coronavirus, I was in an island here in the Philippines, working with the poor people, preaching the gospel, you know, and I'm able to enjoy that dream right now. I'm able to help a lot of ministries. Okay, so I'm really living I would say my dream, and I thank God that God, that one life that I have this on earth, He let me enjoy. I'm with my wife now. We are together wherever we go. Our children are set up. They have their own personal franchise business. They're building it. My son, this past year, with his wife and with his two children, they were in Australia for a month. They were in Ecuador for another month. They're in Mexico for the last 3 months. They are now in Mexico because they got locked down there. And they're just renting a place near the beach with a swimming pool. Beautiful. They're enjoying their lockdown. And the good thing is, because of this personal franchise, my son is able to continue the business over the laptop, like what we're doing. So I see on his Facebook, he's been recruiting people. He's congratulating the people that joined the business. So the business rolls the way it should, despite the lockdown. So that is basically my story. One time I was walking in New York, okay, and I see a lot of people going home in the evening, taking the subway. I tell you, I feel bad. People are like zombies at the end of the day from tiredness from working a regular 9-to-5 job. And I would look back and I would thank God and say, Lord, thank you. I never had to live this kind of life where you work for like 40 years and grow old and be stuck on a desk from 9 to 5 and go home tired, you know, because I have enjoyed my life because of this industry. Now, and I want to end up with this. Robert Schuller once said, when God have a dream of building something on earth, say like a particular business, He looks for a dreamer whom He could give the dream. Okay? And then He gives that dream to that dreamer. And the dreamer in the beginning would support the dream and build it. And then later, the dream will have a life of its own. And then the dream that have a life of its own is now the one supporting the dreamer. And I heard that from Robert Schuller a long time ago. And I would say that's the story of my life. This whole franchising, self-franchising business is supporting me. My family will continue to support my grandchildren and have given us a beautiful future and a beautiful lifestyle. Thank you.
Wow, Romi, that was phenomenal. I mean, your last quote, you know, from Robert Schuller alone was worth staying on this call to hear just that. And we know your beautiful family, and we know they're not being homeschooled, they're being globally schooled, and they're going to grow up to be amazing adults. What a life they have right now. And you know, and thank you for taking a portion of your life today and to the morning in the Philippines right now, right?
Yes, it's the same time. It's
Yeah,
10
it's like-
o'clock morning here.
Beautiful.
I have a question for Romi. So Romi,
Okay.
one of the things when it comes to what you are able to do in the community, because I've heard your story, just it's not only in terms of your ministry, but you do a lot of gifting. Tell us a little bit about that. How have you been impacting your community with your personal franchise business?
Okay. I actually am very strong in helping. In fact, during this coronavirus season, we were able to help them. Number one is I like to help building churches because I was not able to do ministry full time. So I have been donating money to build churches. I think I'm building the 6th church now. So I have built them in different areas in the Philippines. Like I donate money to a certain ministry and they build the church. So we're building our 6th or 7th church right now. And then in the Philippines, we have many relatives who are not able to go to college because of poverty. You know? So we have put to college several of our relatives. I think we have 15 nieces and nephews who graduated already.
Wow.
They have become nurses and a policeman, restaurant. They have this course here, 4-year course, how to run hotels and restaurants. Many of them do that. They have gone into like computer courses, you know. So today we see their lives have changed from a life that would have been a disaster, because if you don't have a college degree, no way you can really build a life in the Philippines. We are a third world country. They require you, okay, to have a college degree. And I have seen their lives. They are now driving cars. They now have homes. It could have been different if we did not say. We continue to do that. I'm also involved in this project where they're trying to solve the problem of human trafficking. Okay, human trafficking here is very rampant in the faraway places in the Philippines, where they recruit like children, like in the rural areas, and they bring them to the city and they make them into like prostitutes, you know. So the way this group of they're actually a group of Catholic nuns, and I'm helping them. They have 5,000 students, like elementary students, that they finance the schooling. Because if they're going to school, then the recruiters cannot recruit them. It becomes easy if they're not going to school because they have nothing else to do, so they just go. But if they're going to school, then the parents would say, no, you're going to school, so don't go work, you know. So we want to increase that 5,000 students to as many as we can. And that requires a whole lot of money. We are doing also, there's a house here, a home, again, run by the nuns. There are 60 like abused children, you know, that they put into a facility and they teach them and they get them to school and they're trying to change their lives. So those ministries we're helping. And it feels so good when because of our business, I'm able to spend time and really help out with money, because it takes a lot of money to really be able to help. There are people who contacts me on Facebook because of this coronavirus. So many people doesn't even have money to buy food. So I have been sending money over the internet. It's so easy to send money to anybody now in the world. You go to that Zoom, XOOM, and you transfer it from your bank account to their bank account, and then they buy food. I see them because they send me copies of receipts. They send me pictures of how they buy this whole supply of food. They divide it into like bags, you know, and they distribute it to the homes of the poor people. It feels so good when I see that I'm able to do that, send, and I see these people. I'm able to like mobilize people to distribute food to the poor people, even though I'm just here at home, because they're willing to do the work as long as I send the money for them to do. And they're churches. Like I deal with people who I know if I send the money, they will really give the money to the poor. You know? I just don't send it to some government like fundraising things like that. No, I send it to church people who I know are really good, and I know them. And all because of this franchise business that we have, I'm able to do all those. I literally myself, okay, would go out on the streets and carry money with me. And I tell you, it feels so good when you hand this money to people and they look at you like they couldn't believe you're giving them money. I love doing that.
So Romi,
Like,
thank you so very much for blessing us this evening with your story. And I know we have Ginny and Sheri. Sheri, anything you want to say, you know, to Romi, for Romi being here? We have Earl with you today. You guys are also building a huge business as well. Anything you'd like to say to Romi and to all the people who are on here tonight?
Yes, Romi, I just want to say, I know Earl and I, we love you and Rose, and we appreciate you, and you touched our life many, many years ago.
Absolutely.
And just to know the people here in Louisiana love you, and they want to do, and I know we want to be able to give. I want to be able to give like you give. And it's so beautiful. And hearing your story, it makes this type of industry, this business, available to everyone, and everybody can do this. And when I picked up on what you said, that you have a PhD in your skill level in learning how to do this, and how to open up and touch people's lives and contact and connect with them. And what we've all learned together, it's knowing and letting people know how much you care about them. And that's what you have given to us, and that we have been, you know, we fit Earl sold his electrical business so that we could do this type of business full time. And it's not about us, it's about finding people to touch their lives. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Romi. And I met you in person a few times, and you're such a fantastic and outstanding role model for all of us, without a doubt. And God's light shines through you for the things you do. And I'm honored to be, to know you and to be a part of your organization also. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thank you so very much, Earl and Sheri. Ginny, anything else that we should cover before we go and talk about the upcoming events that we have, so that people know what to do?
I just have one sentence before Sheri gives us our last 2 minutes of announcements, and then we could say goodnight. In a world where so many people need hope and love, we have an industry filled with people that can give hope and lots of love. And Romi is the perfect example of that tonight. So get back with the person who invited you on this call tonight. Tell them you want to know a little bit more, and start living the dream that Romi talks about, because I just love that quote, where the dream will begin to support you, but you need that dream to come and pop up into a big bubble, because God put you on this earth for just one reason. So get into that reason, get into that mission, get into that purpose, start dreaming, and let your dream ultimately support you, so you can support others in the world and be an amazing role model, just like Romi and his beautiful wife Rose are here. So Sheri, maybe you could just make 1 or 2 announcements, and then we just want to say thank you to Romi and everyone that was on tonight. We just love having you.
Absolutely. So every Wednesday, I just want to let everybody know.
You put it up on the screen for you, Sheri.
Oh, wonderful.
Oops, I think I did it wrong. Go ahead, Sheri.
That's okay. Every Wednesday, we have this call, and this is for everyone, no matter what business that you're in, you come learn the industry. So every Wednesday, we have this Why Own Your Own Personal Franchise. And that is the Zoom at 273-886-5555. And that is 9:00 p.m. Eastern Time. It's 8 Central Time. And then on Mondays, we have our Biz Runner live support call plus. You learn everything that you need to learn and how to make your business run smoothly. Nikima and Ginny come on this call early in the mornings at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Central, and they'll teach you how to use the Zoom call. They have all these recorded. It's just an amazing call to bring yourself and your team on. And it's 273-886-5555. And then we have on Monday evenings, we have our Execute 90. It's an overview, and it's how to get the most out of it. And it's Nikima Frenche and Clay Stevens and some other top leaders. They come on and you get to that call. It's all free events. Guys, everything I'm sharing with you is free. And this is e90master.com. So that's what you would type in. Monday evenings at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:30 Central. And then we have on Saturday, it's how to create predictable income. This is an amazing presentation. It's an amazing event to come to every Saturday. Nikima has taught us this is like being a lighthouse. You know, like lighthouse doesn't move. These calls are here every Wednesday, every Monday, every Saturday. So Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, how to create predictable income, and 10 a.m. Central Time. And that code is zoom.us 273-886-5555. And it will change your life and your business. So thank you.
Thank you so very much, everyone. So guys, bring your friends and family. We are going to be having a new speaker. Every week, we're going to find another speaker to come forward and share with you how they have been doing it so that you are inspired to take action. All right? So come on here, bring your friends and family, and just learn more about how you can take your life to the next level, regardless of what is happening in the world, regardless. All right, guys. Romi, any last thing? We're going to close out the call. You want to say any last thing to anyone? And that's it. We're going to close out the call.
Okay. Basically, I would say the secret to success is a combination of inspiration and skill. Okay, so you can be so inspired if you don't know what to do, you're still not gonna get anywhere. Or if you know what to do but you're not inspired, you're still not gonna do what you're supposed to do because you're not inspired. So I would say every training should have that combination. That it should be inspiring and it should be teaching the skills. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Romi. So guys, good night. Thank you so very much. Let's say thank you to Romi. Unmute yourself and just say thank you for Romi.
Thank you, Romi.
Thank you, Romi.
Thank you, Romi. You are amazing.
Romi.
You're welcome.
Thank you, your wife, Rosa. Thank you.
Good night. See you, buds.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. Good night.
Tell Audrey said hi. Bye.
Good night, Nikima. Good night, Sheri.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.